Hello guys, welcome to this video. I'm going to show you the latest patch notes that have just been released on Twitter and we're gonna go over them together. So 26.3 is a huge patch. I want to see what is going on. I haven't even read them myself, so we will do it together and let's get into it. Ahri's W cooldown reduction. This is nice, 1 second bonus across all ranks. I guess this will help her in the laning phase, but other than that, I don't think it does much. Like, she's not in the strongest state as of right now, but this will definitely make some matchups a bit easier. Don't think she will be broken because of this. Bel Veth HP growth to 105, so this will increase her clear speed a little bit. This means that per level she gets 6 HP more, so on level 2 she has 6 HP more, on level 3 12, on level 4 18, and so on and so on. And jungle pet scales with HP, and maybe like for 1v1s on level 4 you do have 18 health more. I mean, it's not that much, but like it is one tick of a red buff, for example. And our base on hit damage, now I don't personally play Bel Veth, but just looking at these numbers, I think it is a good buff. On level 1 it's untouched, on level 2 it is like a 25% increase, on level 3 it is almost 40% increase. Well, not almost, it is 40%. So that is definitely by numbers alone a strong buff. We will see how it translates to actual win rates. I still think Bel Veth is one of those champions that you kind of have to OTP and know the limits of. If she gets buffed too much and becomes a champion that you don't have to OTP in order to play, she will just run through solo queue, I think. This might be a good buff to put her in a playable direction, but not too OP. Briar, kind of the same HP growth buff as Bel Veth. Armor growth also, nice. Ability health cost from 6% current HP to 5% current HP. Okay, so all in all, it's like a nice buff. This means that so every 3 levels, she gets 1 armor bonus, 5 and something at max level. I mean, that's fine. Okay, so like I think same as Bel Veth, it's like a decent buff, but I don't think it's too OP. Draven, AD growth from 3 to 3.4. Okay, so again, every 3 levels, it's up 1 AD. Again, decent, not too big, I would say. Ezreal, same buff. I'm a bit surprised they're buffing Ezreal. I feel like he's, like, with all the builds and everything, I feel like he's not that weak. I think the new season was completely fine for him. So I do think these buffs will make him a bit stronger. And with the AD buff on E, he might lean towards more AD builds. Bloodthirster, I think, will be like an even better item now. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hecarim, this is the one that I was most excited for. So let's see it. Max damage on Q is buffed on level 5. So level 1, not increased. Level 2, probably increased. We don't see it by level, but I'm guessing that level 2, it will be like a 5 damage increase. And then level 3, 10, level 4, 15, level 5, 20. So that does mean his clear will get a bit faster. Q bonus damage ramp up from 3% plus 4% per 100 bonus AD to 3% plus... Oh, okay, so they're nerfing Q stacks bonus. 225 bonus AD. But how is it a buff? It's exactly the same. Oh, combined. Okay, so I mean, they're buffing his early game, but nerfing his late game, right? So on level 9, when you don't have a lot of AD still, but you have rank 5 Q, Hecarim will be stronger. As the game moves on, he will be weaker. A little bit weaker. Okay, moving on. Heimerdinger, HP growth from 101 to 105. Okay, so they're doing this for a lot of champions. And W first rocket base damage increased from 40 to 140 to 50 to 150. Okay, so base damage a bit stronger on the W. He will be more obnoxious in lane. He will poke a bit easier. I don't know. I guess they want to make the champion pickable, even though I think the champion is not that weak. It's just that people don't play him. I have no idea how to play him, but he barely loses lane, and I think this will make him a bit more popular in solo queue. But I think this buff is only because he's not picked as much. I don't think this buff is because he's that weak. It's just that he's not picked. Kayn, okay, so they're doing Kayn Q, the same thing as Hecarim Q. I mean, almost the same thing. They're just buffing rank 5 damage. It might increase his clear a little bit. We will see, but I don't think this will matter on his clear speed. Just his late game will get a tiny bit better. Maokai Q base damage, 10 across all ranks. Nice. A bit faster clear and a bit more damage in those early fights. Naafiri. Okay, monster modifier from 1.35 to 1.55 on passive. I think this will increase her clear speed by a couple seconds, for sure. I think this could be a good buff. With the lethality items, how they're working, Naafiri might be strong in jungle. But we will see. I have to do some testings. I will try and do an Naafiri clear and get it out as soon as possible, just because of this. Nunu, this is... Wait, Nunu is getting a buff. Okay, I mean, he was nerfed last patch, so it makes sense. So they're basically reverting the W, no? Oh my god, they're reverting both, no? Okay, so Nunu is, in my opinion, still broken. Guys, pick Nunu and get your free LP, trust. Trundle, armor growth, 0.6 per level. Okay, this is actually a good armor increase. This means that every 2 levels he will get 1.2 bonus armor. That's on level 10, that's on level 11, that's 12 extra armor. That is... No, sorry, yeah, I'm minting. It's 6 extra armor. That is not little, by the way. And it is 1 AD per 2 levels. That is also good. I mean, I think this is a good buff for Trundle. He was kind of unpickable in my opinion. Only playable maybe against champions like Sejuani in jungle, just because of the fact that Sejuani has her passive that gives bonus resistances, and then you steal all of that, and it feels really good. Tryndamere, AD growth from 4 to 4.5. Okay, that's all same AD growth as on Trundle. That's very nice. Okay, these are the two that I was also interested. Vi and Xin Zhao. Let's see. Vi increased from 99 to 105. Okay, and AD growth. Okay, I think this is a good buff for Vi, but I'm not convinced this is good enough for her to be broken, but she will be strong, let's say. But this will be, like, for pro play, this will be huge. Xin Zhao, passive max HP heal. I'm guessing it goes level 1, level 6, level 11, something like that. And then on the last upgrade, it's by 1%. That's fine. E bonus attack speed from 40 to 6. I mean, okay, these buffs are... They're just making his late game a bit better, which is kind of fine. I mean, the champion does fall off in the late game. It will help him out a little bit. Yeah, I'm not convinced that these are changes that will make champions broken. Zaahen, Q monster modifier from 1.75 to 2. Okay, that's nice. E bonus monster from 50 to 75. Okay, let's see. That is actually good, I would say. That, like, on buffs, you're gonna use 2 E's. So that is gonna save you 1 auto attack for sure. By buff alone, on the first buff, and on the second one, it will be maybe 2 auto attacks that it saves, because Q is getting bonus damage as well. Also, I don't know if this changes some thresholds, maybe on Raptors or on Wolves. This could be a really good buff. Like, this can increase his speed by quite a bit. I will do some testing on both Zaahen and Naafiri to see how much this affects their clear. I feel the champion is strong. This could be something to cook up with. Let's see the nerfs. Braum health goes from 630 to 610, and Q base damage from 275 to 255 at max rank. Man, it's a nerf, definitely, but not that big of a deal, I think. In high elo, people max E on Braum, so I don't know if this even matters, honestly. I mean, maybe in some lanes with Lucian, you max like Q just because you have damage, right? So you go for the one-shots and where you fight a lot, but I feel like you usually pick Braum because of his OPE and his passive, so you don't really care about Q damage as much. Diana, passive damage on monsters from 280 to 230. Okay, this will decrease her clear speed for sure, but I don't think it will destroy her. I think the main problem of Diana will still exist, and that is that she's so strong with Dusk and Dawn, and with Liandry's, and with Riftmaker, and with everything, so this will definitely make her a champion that you have to think about more. Clear, like, learning the clear will be even more important, because now, instead of having, like, if you go and check her clear speed, so she clears, like, from blue to Krugs, and from red to Grump, she clears in about 2 minutes, and, like, between 37 seconds to 42 seconds, let's say, if you know the clear. If you don't know the clear, it will go to like 250 to 255, and that is where the problem occurs, right? If you know the clear and it goes from 2 minutes and 37 seconds to like 2 minutes and 42 seconds, that is not that big of a deal. Like, the champion is still playable, and other than her clear, after she gets first item, some gold, a kill or something, it won't matter as much. Even though this does decrease her scaling as well, like, she will clear a bit slower during the entire game, because this 50% you will feel even more on couple items. But still, if she gets a lead and she's ahead, she will still be the same turbo stomper champion that she is. So I don't think this fixes her problems. I don't think her clear speed was the biggest problem problem out of them all. I think build pets, the items, and the fact that she's basically a tank while building AP items is her problem. Just like a bruiser AP that is almost unkillable in teamfights. That is her problem. And the fact that she basically has no cooldowns on spells while building items like Dusk and Dawn and Liandry's, and she has basically, what, only 20 ability haste. So yeah. Ekko passive AP ratio from 90% to 80. Okay, so Ekko is getting hit on his kit, which is good. And passive damage on monsters from 300 to 270. I think this should be nerfed even more because it's so freaking OP in late game that you do 1k damage with passive or like 2k damage even with passive. And with Dusk and Dawn, you just EQ and you proc it. It's insane. Ekko got nerfed, but again, I'm not impressed by this. I think the champion will still be strong. Riven total AD ratio from 50% to 40% in max rank. Okay, I think that is a good nerf in late game because remember, guys, you proc passive like 3 or 4 times in a combo on one target, right? So that is like total 20% AD ratio that you lose. Q bonus AD ratio also decreased by 5% across all ranks. So I do think this is a good nerf for Riven. It all adds up and it is a nice nerf. Ryze W damage from 60 to 180, plus 0.7, plus 4% mana to, okay, base remains same. AP is 0.1, but I mean, okay, and 3% mana. I like it's on W. Like, will this kill the champion? I don't think so, honestly. Varus, armor growth. Okay, this is a lot. This will hurt him on bot lane. W on hit, AP ratio. Okay. This will also hurt him on top lane, by the way, because top lane has like a lot of AD champions. And W max health from 1.5% to 1.3%. Okay, so they are nerfing the AP build, which is nice because it's been terrorizing the solo queue ladder, and that's amazing. I like this. I would run this champion into the ground. In my opinion, this champion needs a rework because when it's buffed, it's OP. When it's not buffed, it's useless. And Zed... They realized that the nerf on 1.2% is just not enough. The champion needs to die even more because like there were people who were clearing in 2 minutes and 30 seconds even after the nerf in last patch. But this will just like destroy him. This will like boom, he's dead. Like if this doesn't run him into the ground in jungle, I don't know what will. I'm so glad for this. So Zed, rest in peace. Jayce, melee Q is buffed at max range. Ranged Q nerfed at max range, right? Max rank, sorry. Yeah, it is nerfed at max. Okay, I mean, it makes sense. It was a bit too much damage, I think, with the lethality items. And bonus damage is reduced from 25 to 10. So they buffed him, if you guys remember, they buffed him at the end of the last season. And I think this is the revert on that buff. So he's going back. But they're increasing his cannon, armor, and MR shred by 10%. Okay, this is a lot. When you meet Jayce in the river, for example, and he's in a bush and he unleashes the entire combo on you, he could actually be dealing more damage, which is fine. Like, I think that is fine because the champion is very squishy and hard to execute. So it's fine if he has more damage in a total combo, but he probably needs to get nerfed in the jungle because he was the strongest AD pick of the last patch and patch before that and patch before that. So that's fine. For Mel, I'm not going to review it now. I think Mel will have a separate video if I do it, but she's also a mid laner, so I don't know how much you guys would even care about that. But if you want, write it down. I will make a new video on it. I might even go on PB and test her out and give you guys my thoughts. This is something that I actually saw on Twitter and I couldn't believe. Like, what are they doing? 300 gold cheaper Actualizer. Do you know what this means? Ryze is freaking broken now. Like this buff, this, wait, where is it? Sorry, nerf. This nerf is useless. It doesn't matter if they're gonna reduce his 3 core item build by 300 gold. Now it's insane. Like, it's insane. But on the plus side, we're gonna see Nemesis carry even harder on lesser tones. So yeah, just permaban the champion against Nemesis, I guess. Okay, cashback. 0.5% increase. So if an item costs 1000 gold or 3000 gold, it would give 240 gold before this. Now it will give 15 gold less, so 265, which is, I mean, definitely something, but I think it makes the rune viable. Let's say it like it was a bit broken. This just narrows it down a bit. This means that if you buy 5 items and on average every item gives you 15 gold less, you're gonna have 75 gold less in the end, which is like not a lot, but it's a control word. Phase Rush getting nerfed. Range champion effectiveness. Nice. I'm so glad. It was so broken in my opinion. It was so annoying that these champions like Talia, like Ryze could keep getting away with awful positionings because they can throw 3 spells at max range and just fly away. So this is great. This is great. I completely agree with this. It was so unhealthy for the game. Bonus movement speed is going from 18.75 to... Okay, so it is like 6.25 to like 12.5 decrease. Amazing. Amazing. I'm happy with this. Perfect. The rune is dead, probably. Maybe in certain matchups you just play it. But yeah, it's probably dead. Tier 3 defensive boots. Okay, so this is for both mercs and steel caps, right? Shield at level 8 goes from 55 to 120 to 90 to 190. Okay, so the base shield is increased, but 7% max HP changes to 8% bonus HP. Okay, that's good. So if you don't build... Okay, this basically means that if you don't build health, the shield won't be as strong. 30% and is similar to last year's tuning. And triple tonic, elixir of force bonus from 30 to 25 adaptive force. That is completely justified. But with cashback and triple tonic nerfs, I think I will personally try to move back to cosmic insight plus magical footwear on most champions like Lilia, Jarvan, Viego, and so on. System adjustments. Turret plates. So now when there are more champions hitting the plate, it won't be as tanky, which means that as a jungler, when you're ganking and you kill the opponents, it will be easier to take plates. So that is really good in my opinion. But when you solo try to take plates, it will be harder, right? So now you get more value as a jungler after a gank to hit the plates. So remember that. Champion bounties, devaluation rate 1 per 2.5 gold given out to 1 per 3.5 gold given. Okay, wait. Can they give me this in simple terms? Revaluation rate from farming. Okay, I think this means kills will give more gold now when a champion is killed more often, right? The rate at which gold earned from killing a champion over and over again will drop. So you get 300 on the first one. Maybe for the second one it was 100 and like 200 and something. Now it will be maybe 220. I don't know the exact numbers, but I think that is what they're saying. Dusk and Dawn, this was the most like I memed this. I memed this on Twitter. So they decreased the spell damage from 100 base AD to 75% base AD and increased health. This is the most dogshit change to Dusk and Dawn ever, because like you build it on champions that they don't care about the AD. Like what I'm building it on Diana, let's say she has 100 base AD, what I have 25 less damage, but I have 50 more HP and the item is still giving me the broken passive. Like that is the idea. Like Ekko is, I think, its best user and he's still gets 2 passive procs from his E, right? And then he's gonna Q and proc his passive. This is actually a buff, in my opinion. The 50 extra HP is much more valuable, in my opinion. Endless Hunger, additional longsword in build path. Cost is from 3,000 to 3,100 and AD from 60 to 65. I think this is fine because it felt a bit weird to build the actual item. And then Protoplasm Harness. This item is OP on champions that have strong stats. Like for example on Leona, you W before you proc and you get a huge shield. Haste from 15 to 20. A lifeline max health gain increased from 200 to a range 200 to 300 with level scaling. Okay. Lifeline healing goes from 200 to 400 plus 250% armor, 250% MR to 200 to 40 plus 175 armor, 175 MR. Okay, so they're just trying to even out the item, which I think is fine because it was a bit broken on champions that can in certain moments stack a lot of armor and magic resist, like Leona with her W, you know, for example. To sum up everything here, I think from champions, like these are all minor buffs and changes which will maybe increase the pick rate of certain champions, but I don't think it will increase their win rates by a lot, maybe like half a percent to 1%, I don't know. But some champions like Naafiri and Zaahen, especially Zaahen, I feel like might be much stronger in jungle. We will see that. how it works out. I think Nunu reverting the buffs is like shooting yourself in the foot. He only now has Q 1 second less of a cooldown, but like, does that matter? The champion is still so unhealthy in the game, and in my opinion, broken. From the nerfs, Nana and Ekko got hit hard, but I think they are still really strong. Maybe they're not S plus broken tier, but they are still like S tier, you know, they're still strong. I think they will get another nerf in the upcoming patches. Ryze, this is such a fake nerf because of the Actualizer. I think Ryze will be tier 1 champion, like first pick broken champion. Zed, dead. Oh my god, I missed Volibear. Sorry. I missed Volibear. Q damage is actually decreased by quite a bit. Base damage, quite a bit. But they're increasing bonus AD. Okay, that's fine. So they're forcing you into a more of an AD build. E cooldown from 14 to 16. Oh, that's actually a nerf. Oof. So with this, they're decreasing his clear speed by quite a bit. And his E damage. So I think this will hit the champion. I think it will hit him. Jayce, I think much weaker in the jungle. Cashback and triple tonic, I think we're gonna move from that to cosmic and magical footwear once again. Phase rush is dead, and defensive boots are getting a nerf. Plates, better to hit them with multiple people, so after a gank, worse to hit by yourself. Dusk and Dawn, actually a buff. I think they flopped really hard on this one. Endless Hunger, in my opinion, also a slight buff, and Protoplasm Harness is just a bit more balanced out. That's it. Thank you so much for watching. Write down in the comments, what do you guys think? What have been good nerfs, good buffs, and what have been some of the biggest flops of this patch. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.